When did you realize you were not the favorite child? I realized it when I was 9 years old, watching my parents rush my sister to the hospital while leaving me alone with a neighbor I barely knew. It was Christmas Eve, and Emma had fallen off her new bike, breaking her arm. Mom cradled her like she was made of glass while Dad frantically started the car. What about me? I asked, still standing in my pajamas on the front lawn. Dad barely glanced back. Mrs. Peterson will watch you. Emma needs us right now. They drove away before I could say another word. I spent Christmas morning opening presents with our elderly neighbor while my parents posted photos from the hospital of Emma with her new cast. Our brave little princess, the caption read. Nobody mentioned the presents I opened alone or asked how I was doing. That was the first clear moment, but the pattern had always been there. Emma's artwork covered the refrigerator while my straight A report cards were briefly acknowledged, then filed away. Of course you got good grades, Mom would say. That comes naturally to you. Emma has to work harder. When I made the soccer team, Dad missed every game because Emma had dance recitals that required more support. When I won the science fair in 6th grade, they skipped the ceremony because Emma had a cold. She needs us more than you do, Mom explained. You understand, right? You're the mature one. By 13, I'd accepted my role. I became fiercely independent because I had to be. I learned to forge permission slip, cook my own meals, and solve my own problem. Meanwhile, Emma couldn't make a doctor's appointment without Mom's help well into high school. The college decision made it undeniable. I'd been accepted to Cornell with a partial scholarship, but needed help with the remaining tuition. We just don't have it right now, Dad said. Maybe community college for 2 years? 2 months later, they bought Emma a car for her 16th birthday. She's struggling socially, Mom explained. This will help her fit in. I worked 3 jobs that summer and took out loans. I moved across the country for school and limited my visits home to once a year. Every time I returned, Emma's bedroom remained exactly as she'd left it, while mine had been converted to a home office the day after I moved out. Last month, I got the call I'd been half expecting for years. Your father's had a heart attack, Mom said. We need you to come home and help care for him. Emma's too emotional to handle it. I took time off from my surgical residency and flew home immediately. When I arrived, Emma was sitting on the couch scrolling through her phone while Mom made her tea. Dad was upstairs alone. Thank God you're here, Mom said. Emma's been so upset she hasn't slept. You know how to handle these things. That night, after caring for Dad and creating a medication schedule, I found a stack of financial documents on the kitchen table. They had remortgaged their house to fund Emma's 3rd attempt at starting a business. The previous 2 had failed within months. Meanwhile, I was still paying off my student loan. You're just better at standing on your own, Dad told me weekly from his bed when I asked about it. Emma needs more support. She always has. I stayed 2 weeks, got Dad stabilized, arranged for home care, and organized their finances as best I could. Before leaving, I sat them down for a conversation that was 15 years overdue. I'm not coming back next time, I said calmly. I love you both, but I'm not your emergency support system while Emma remains your priority. That's not fair, Mom protested. You know we love you both the same. Actions speak louder than words, I replied. I've been taking care of myself since I was 9 years old on Christmas morning. I'll continue doing that. Emma called me selfish as I walked out the door. Dad looked away. Mom cried. I didn't look back. Some people spend their whole lives trying to become the favorite child. I spent mine learning to be my own favorite person.